Pranam Bandhu, you know, every day I send my good wishes to you, and I really hope that it reaches you. Today's topic is about the Didi. Who are these Didis whom we are serving in our Satvik ashrams, the abodes of Satviks? Didis are elderly women who are destitutes. That means they are from the streets, who have no one for them, and they are also mentally unstable or physically challenged and mentally unstable. They are in India, we call them pagal, pagli. What is the background of these Didis? You know, how people end up in the streets, how these elderly women are there in the streets. They could be either, you know, like we have some, I'll be telling you from all the experiences I have with all these Didis whom I have brought in my ashrams, and before that also I have been working a lot with Mother Teresa's Nirmal Hriday, which is like Mother Teresa's home for dying and destitute, where I used to go to the streets and bring these men and women to the hospitals and also to Mother Teresa's place. You know, like there are, I'll tell you different kinds of people who end up in the streets. There are some of them who ran away from their homes. One of them are these children who run away from their homes or who are separated from their families due to some situation or circumstance, and they grow up in the streets and they become old. Some of the destitutes are like elderly mother or father who are, you know, like I had this Muslim woman called Nafisa Dadi. Dadi is grandmother, we used to call her Dadi. So this Nafisa Dadi, she was, you know, when her husband died, she was an elderly person that time only, and when her husband died, all the property and everything, she was a rich woman, all the property and everything was written off by, she wrote everything in the name of the sons and daughters, but it was also that when she would die, everything will come to the son and daughters. And she was from a village somewhere in Bihar, and there, after she had signed the property deal, she was made to sit, she was told that she would be taken to Ajmer for a pilgrimage. Ajmer is a place in the west of India where Muslims go for a pilgrimage. So her sons would bring her to the train, and they would say, one of them would say that I'm just coming to bring some food, and he would get down from the train and the train would move, and she is from the village and she doesn't know anything, and she end up in Calcutta, Kolkata, and maybe in the street in a very bad circumstances she was there. And then anyway she was brought to her new soul spiritual home, which is the Satvik ashram. And anyways, so there are some people, some elderly people like this who end up in the streets, and you know, after having a good life, the last of their life is like this. Then there are some women or some people who are rich, but maybe they have all the property thing and everything, so they are tortured by their other family members who would be benefited after, you know, this person becomes, something happens to this person, they will be benefited. So they torture him in such a way, because you know, when you become mad, most of the time when you get a big shock from the people you love, they just walk away from the house, or they are taken somewhere and just left there, and they end up in the streets. And in another episode I'll tell you what I do, how I handle these kind of people and how I make them feel like home here in our ashrams, Satvik ashrams. And then there are other people like women, mostly in this category, the woman mostly comes into this category, or even men. Like these people are very, very difficult people. they will be, maybe some of them will be like, these people are very difficult to handle by the family members. Like, they will be very torturing to all the family members around them. They will, for example, some of them are very greedy. They would, or some of them are very jealous. They wouldn't, even if they get the best of things, they would always think that somebody else is getting better, and they would create a ruckus out of it, and they would create a pandemonium out of it, and the whole family peace gets, goes for a six. So, or there are some people who are very physically challenged, or they get angry very fast, or they would not let their other family members to do what they want to do, or let their other family members to survive with peace. They would be complaining for everything. They will be criticizing for everything. There are elderly people, when we grow old, we sometimes become very strange because of our age or something like that. So there are some people like this who also end up in the streets. And then there are some people who come to the cities after the rich industrialists or rich politicians. They take their land or some things like that, or they have no job, no work for them, and then they end up coming to the big cities for feeding their family or something like that, and then they end up in the street, and they are, all the money and everything is taken away. They are made fool. They are village people, country people who are not so intelligent, like they are, I would say they are not so cunning like the city people. Some of the city people who would rob them or who would do something, then they end up in the streets, and slowly and then there are lots of people who would be giving them money or something like that, and not really taking care of them, just giving them some money, so they end up being beggars. These kind of people, when they end up in the streets, most of the time in their old age, they are so helpless, and then they need a family the most, because like like all elderly people, they need help just like children. Have a very, very beautiful day. Have a very beautiful night. This is my inner wish for you. Pranam Panj.